Hey YouTube, this is going to be my first video for this channel. It's about my 12th time trying to record. We have a 7-month-old and my husband and I have decided that he's not going to be on the internet at all. So that makes videos a little bit hard, especially when you've got a Velcro baby. Hence, I'm in the car because he's napping. Yeah, so a little bit about me. The channel, it's kind of just going to be for me and hopefully one day my kids, because like, we do live in an age where everything's electronic and recorded. We do. There's no point fighting it. It happens. Now, while I do think there's a lot of value in disconnecting, and there's a lot of value in some of the old ways of doing things, for instance, I do actually want my kids to go out and play outside. But I also look and go, oh my god, what an amazing opportunity. I want to learn to sew. We've got a couple of businesses, we're doing a house reno, like we'll go through all of it. And if I document it on YouTube, one day my kids, if they want to, they can actually go back and have a look at what life was like with them as a baby, what life was like for their parents, how we managed to run a business, like all the things. I think that's really cool. So the channel is basically just going to be a day in the life of me. I do have an Instagram account, that's where I started, but short form videos are not for me at all. I ramble too much, as you may have noticed. Yeah, so, and my mum keeps going, oh, you've just got to do YouTube. You just do a YouTube channel. Don't bother with Instagram. Like, just do a YouTube channel. And I think she might be onto something because I can ramble and babble and it's fine. So my Instagram channel is actually about sewing. Now my YouTube's going to be a little bit more encompassing than that. So Relm of Stitches, as my YouTube channel is called. That's my Instagram handle as well. I've decided to learn to sew. I started learning when I was pregnant. I didn't really get to do much while I was pregnant. But basically I got sick of the fact that maternity clothing in Australia doesn't exist. You've got to order online and then it's really hard to get the right sizing. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to make something. So that was this piece. My hoodie was my first thing I made. And as you can see, like, it had issues. Like, some of my stitches have come undone. But it was comfy and got me through pregnancy, and now it's just my comfy oversized hoodie. So that's where it started, and it's grown. I now obsess over sewing. I do it all the time. And to the point I'm actually going to have started selling them, and I've got a couple of big things coming up trying to sell them. But I'll go into that in another video later. Yeah, so just a bit about me. I currently mum of one boy, big learning curve. I have been a business administrator, I've been in quality and compliance, I've been in strategic planning, I've been in systems management, I've been a maintenance coordinator. I was in the equine industry for quite a long time and I had my own horses for over a decade. I've also been a freelance writer. My husband and I both were, while we travelled around the continent of America. We spent a lot of time in the United States. We also spent time in Costa Rica, so that was amazing. We needed to support ourselves. That's a story for another time, but we essentially decided we wanted to move to America it was Tuesday. We decided that Tuesday the 4th of November. Our house was packed up in boxes and we were on a plane to move to America by November the 7th. So that was huge, and we could only do it because of our family. We had our house boxed up. Everything was boxed and ready to go. Our family actually put it all in storage for us, so they were amazing. Yeah, and huge adventure, changed the course of our lives. We wouldn't have a son without that trip to America. So, a story for another time. So yeah, it's just going to be a bit of the day in the life of me trying to juggle a lot of things. I've completed my Bachelor of Psychology, and then it did nothing for me. I was like, what can I use this for? So I went back and got my Masters of Education, and now I'm a psychology teacher in high school, and I also teach math in high school. However, I am on maternity leave at the moment. I do still need to finish my VIT registration. So what that is, in Australia, we have the Victorian Institute of Teaching, I believe it is. They regulate all the teachers, make sure we're qualified, make sure we don't have criminal histories, make sure we're safe for children, all those things. And I still need to complete my full registration, so I'm provisionally registered. Basically, that means I'm a baby teacher. I've got the qualifications, I pass all the checks, but I don't have the experience to be fully registered yet. I've got to do a project, an inquiry. I can go into that in another video if you're interested, but that'll happen next year. So I'll need to go back to work 1 or 2 days a week to finish that. My husband and I also run a handyman business. My husband does all the physical labour. I just help him out with the paperwork and the books. Obviously my background's in corporate administration and risk management, all that stuff, so I give him a hand with that when I can. I do less of that now that we've got the baby. I've also started up my little sewing business, which is more of a hobby, but I'm trying to turn it into a bit of a business. And I've also just this morning actually accepted my offer to Monash University for my graduate certificate of Psychology Advanced. That's the equivalent of my 4th year, because I've already done my bachelor, like I said, so I've got to do my 4th year, which would start in January. And then after that, it's only about 1.5 years after that, I will be fully accredited psychologist in Australia, so 2.5 years away from that. But it's going to be a huge undertaking. That's 20 to 25 hours a week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage it, but we're going to give it a go. We'll see. Why not? I live in Australia, so I may as well take advantage of the fact that I can get really good student loans from the government to do that education. Student loans without the interest. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's a bit about who I am. Hopefully some of you might find it a bit interesting to see the chaos of my life. And yeah, actually there is one more thing we're doing. We're renovating a house. Sorry. We have been living in a bungalow out the back of a friend's house on a farm, which has been absolutely amazing. We love it. We've lived there before. We lived there before we went to America. We came back. We wanted to move back in. It was perfect for just my husband and I. It's a 2-room little bungalow. One room has the kitchen lounge room area, which is about as big as a caravan, and then there's a bedroom, and that's it. It was perfect for us. However, with the little one, we no longer have room to breathe. Like, we have storage out on the veranda. So my husband is not only working full-time in our business, he's also working basically full-time hours renovating our new house to give us somewhere to live, because he's amazing. So we're also doing the renovations. I'll post a little bit about the renovations on the channel too. Very exciting. As of last night, we have a floor. I will try to add some photos to the video of what our house looked like a couple of days ago, because there was legitimately no floor. And we are on a time crunch to get it done. We need to have pretty much all of it done by the 12th of December, which is just under a month away. And so we need to finish the flooring. We need to get all the skirting boards in. We need to make sure the walls are connected to the floor and the ceiling properly. We need to get the stove into the kitchen. We need to remove some cupboards so the fridge can fit into the kitchen. We've got to get the electricians in to connect a couple of outlets and the stove. We also need to paint the entire house, and we need to install a bathroom. There is no bathroom. It has been completely ripped out, walls and all. So we've got a big job ahead of us, but we can do it. Why not? I just yesterday when I got my paint samples, they're sitting next to me in the car. So I need to drop them off at the bungalow. Sorry, we call it the bungalow because there's a little bungalow out the back where we have our lunch breaks. So I need to drop the paint samples off at the house, so we can get them up on the wall and double check they're all good. and if they are, hopefully we will be painting this week before we get our carpets in. So yeah, it's a busy time, and yeah, hope some of you get at least some entertainment out of the chaos of my life.